I'm not going to answer any questions unless they're very compelling until the end of the show, because it's annoying to others when I have to pause and answer questions. All right, now this is the rollout of PowerScan 2. Now I'm going to briefly cover what PowerScan 1 is or was, because there are a lot of new people here, not a ton, but some, and they might not even know what PowerScan ever was. All right. PowerScan is about technical analysis. Now, that's obvious to most of you, but there are people that are out there that assume that the only way to make money on stocks is to study the fundamentals, company data like earnings, balance sheets, growth rates, that sort of thing. But that's not what we do here. We do pure technical analysis, which is the study of charts. Because in the chart is just about everything you ever need to know if you know how to interpret them properly. So there's all kinds of technical analysis techniques. Every trader usually has their favorite setup. Like stock is at support or resistance, or there's a trend, or there's some kind of breakout, that sort of thing. And every trader I know that uses tech analysis has some setup that they prefer, or setups. The problem is, what about the live market? Okay, so you have a favorite setup. Let's just say that it's the breakout. Well, how do you go through all the stocks to find a breakout? Because in the live market, there's 3,000 stocks that are all on the move. Setups can appear at any time. So good luck finding your favorite setup. So how in the world do you find these patterns on a live moving market? Now, there are products out there that scan for setups, but most of them look only at the end-of-day data or snapshots. That's not going to work. I mean, it works to a point, but what about at 10 a.m. when there's a whole pattern that sets up for you? You see. So that's how PowerScan came about. Because PowerScan lets you locate your favorite chart setups at any interval in real time. By interval, I mean, 5-minute chart, 15-minute chart, daily chart, whatever. Okay, PowerScan essence is like this. It has filters. A filter does what it sounds like. It filters all the stocks and locates the ones that are of interest to you. And it does so by computing a formula, one or more formulas that are inside a filter. A formula is something like stock is at its 52-week high, that would be a formula, or stock has crossed over a moving average, that would be a formula, that sort of thing. And then they can be simple or they can get very complex. But these formulas are computed and measured against every single stock in the market in real time, every second. And so PowerScan will scan 2,500 stocks in real time. Now, PowerScan used to be our only product for years and years and years. And we had some add-ons and interesting additions, but PowerScan was the product. And then we suddenly got into other platforms like Traders Unite and all kinds of other interesting modules like track trading, options, signature, and then the most recent addition, which is killer, by the way, is Wall Street Smoking Gun. The problem is, from a business perspective, this was kind of knuckleheaded because PowerScan is the product that built us to what we are today. And so after lots of hard work and development torture, we now have the original PowerScan improved and rolled into Traders Unite. And I'm going to show it to you right now. Okay, there's your Traders Unite, as you're oh so familiar with. But you'll notice one new addition at the bottom, which is PowerScan. Now, PowerScan, the actual PowerScan window itself is your filter manager. It's how you maintain, edit, and create filters. I'm going to spend most of the time showing you this because this is probably the most involved and the most complex. A lot of you won't even know how to create a filter. We're going to have a lot more material on this, say like additional webinars, that sort of thing. We'll have a lot more material on our website, but for now, what you will get is you'll get a default list of filters, which are all pretty good. Now, if you're an old PowerScan user, as long as you launch on the computer that you were using PowerScan, your filters will show up in this list, the filters that you already have. And you can also grab filters from people that have shared filters, and I'll show you that in a few minutes. But here is your filter list. If you click on a filter, single click, you see the filter details up here on the top right. Now if you double click, it shows you the list of formulas inside that filter. You click on it once, you now have the formula data that you can edit. Pretty slick. You know, the old filter manager was a lot more clunky than this. Okay, so I can edit these, or I could delete one, or whatever. Now, to add a new formula, you'd go Add Formula, and there's your list of formulas, all the available formulas. And it gives you a description of what they are. Now, again, this is going to be way over the heads of new people, but in time you'll realize this is actually as simple as we could possibly make it. Up here at the top are formula categories. You got highs and lows. These are things like where the stock is relative to its yesterday's close or yesterday's high, that sort of thing. You got bars and histograms. You got indicators and crossovers. Indicators and crossovers are your classic technical analysis items like MACD, EMAs, RSI, that sort of thing. Now, to add a new let's create a new formula, and I want to show you something that was not in the previous PowerScan. Let's go New Filter. And it comes up with something called Untitled. So let's put a name in here. Let's just call it Test. Now I want to add a formula. Now I'm going to add a formula that you've never seen in the old PowerScan, which is, it's under Indicators and Crossovers. And now at the very bottom, you'll see a formula called Track Trading. Interesting, huh? So let's add that. You can add, by the way, by just double-clicking. Track trading, okay, let's click on it there. Now, track trading formula lets you screen for stocks that have a track trading score of a certain number or better, or in the case of a bear score, a certain negative number or worse. Now, your score period, as you know, you guys who like it, use track trading and like it, you know it's got like an intraday score, a daily score, and a weekly score. You can choose which one of those you want to look at in this formula. Now, I'm going to keep it, I want to say minimum bull score is 80. I'm just going to leave that default. And I'm going to show you in a few minutes how you would use this filter against the lists that you have in Traders Unite. Alright, now here's an interesting thing too. Up here you see these check marks. It says Show In. Now this is getting in now to the area where the new PowerScan is super duper powerful compared to the old one in this respect. PowerScan, the old one, just had a list of stocks and it screened those and it came up with the answers, okay? Period. That was the end of story. The difference is the new PowerScan can be applied to every single list in Traders Unite, including Smoking Gun. Now this is killer because that means you can screen, you already have a nice list, right? Let's say it's track trading. You already have a good list with pretty good picks, but you want to screen it even further with your setup. Let's say you love the track trading scores except you only want to play a breakout. Well, you apply the breakout filter to the track trading list and there you go. I'm going to show you that here in a while. But the reason for these check marks up here are that you can tell the system to include the filter that you made in any one of these windows or none of them. So for example, let's say you in Smoking Gun, you only want to use 2 or 3 different filters, so you can tell it which filters are in that window. Now, that means that when you open Smoking Gun, you won't have a big giant list of filters. You only have a handful that you like to use. That's just a nice little side feature. Color code is important because color code it'll show you a color when it does really scan for stocks. You'll be able to know which filter it is. So in this test, let's make the code, let's make it kind of a violet-y thing or something. All right, now if you want to import, let's say you don't have your PowerScan filters and you want to import them. Well, the best way would be to go to the old PowerScan that has your filters, export them, save them as text files, then you could go import. See this import button? But now import is way more powerful than just importing a file. Because guess what? Import window also has all the shared filters. These are filters that people have made over the years and they've elected to share them with others. You can choose any one of these guys and import them. See? Now, or you could get a file off of your computer. So this is how you get shared filters. I'm not going to import anything right now, but you can sort these various filters by author, type, that sort of thing. Now, if you make a filter that you want to share, you just simply click on the filter. Let's say it's this one, and you just click Share. It'll then ask you to give a description, to categorize it, and it gives you choices to categorize it, and whether it's bull or bear, and then you click OK. I'm not going to share anything right now. And it'll wind up in the shared list. So this becomes True Traders Unite. Some of the better traders can make filters that work really well, and you can import them if they elect to share them on the sharing site. See if I've missed anything here. Duplicate filter just takes the currently selected filter and duplicates it, so you can make a dupe and then modify it. Now, you're going to ask me, what is this plot chart button? The answer is it does nothing right now. I was not able to complete that for this rollout. But plot chart is going to take any chart that you want, your favorite chart, favorite stock, whatever, and it's going to plot the filter that you have selected against that chart to show you the marks of where that stock kicked in on that filter. Kind of like what track trading does. So then you'll be able to see how well your filter performs against any one stock. That's going to be killer, but that's not there yet. Anyhow, once you have your filters all arranged, you then can use PowerScan. Now, let's go to the basic stock list. This is the stock list that exists for people who have not really bought anything. You know? This is just kind of like the old Stock Vision list. I'm going to show you this first because this is the way the old PowerScan would have worked. Up here on all of these windows that have stock lists, you'll see a PowerScan icon, a little arrow. If you click that, lo and behold, there are your filters. So you can make them go away to get more screen real estate, to toggle them off and on. Now, let's take breakouts, just for fun. You click it once. You don't need to double click. Click it once. It activates it. Now it's scanning for all the breakouts in that list. It takes a little bit because it has to go to the server, and the server has to scan 3,000 stocks. There we go. There's all your breakouts that are in that list. Now, where it says PS hit, that's the time of day that it found that stock. Now, I know you guys are going to ask me this. The time of day is your time on your local computer of when it found this stock. It's not necessarily when the stock had that pattern, just so you know. But now this is just the basic stock list. And here's where it gets really powerful. As I said, PowerScan can be applied to any window that has stocks. let's go to track trading. Let's say you want to look at all stocks. We can now apply. Okay, we go to PowerScan. Let's do breakouts again, okay? Oh, well, it already knows them because we already completed the scan. Okay, so the beauty of this, you see, the difference here is it still found the same stocks because we're looking at all stocks. But now we can see the track trading rating. Now, if you had a custom list, for example, let's go here to bull ETFs. It doesn't find anything. So that means there's no bull ETFs that have breakouts or have matched the breakout filter. Bear ETFs maybe? No. Anyway, you get the idea. If you have a custom list, you could apply any PowerScan filter to it. But my favorite, which I've been using almost exclusively, which is probably the most powerful thing in the whole trading universe, seriously, is applying track trading to smoking gun. Now, some of you guys might not have smoking gun, but a lot of you do. But smoking gun is, in my opinion, the best indicator in the world. Again, smoking gun is not a stock picker. You don't just go by the list and say, oh, that's a good trade. You have to confirm what shows up on the list. Well, remember our previous webinars, we would walk through these lists and confirm them that way and look at the patterns, look at the trend, that sort of thing. But now with PowerScan, this becomes way easier because you can now apply your favorite pattern to the smoking gun list. One of my favorites, for example, that's why I kept using the breakout, is the breakout filter. Because I find that most of the time when something shows up on smoking gun and it matches the breakout pattern, it's a really good pick. So if we go breakouts, there's your breakouts on smoking gun. And that means every one of these guys are probably pretty good. See that? You see that nice chart pattern there? That thing is just busting out of a range. It doesn't get any better than that. I'm telling you, there's another one busting out of a range. These guys will probably fly. There's a really good one there. That one looks kind of bad because it has a red bar, but it's still breaking out. Same there. See, these are beautiful chart setups. And in literally a split second, we just now eliminated the grinding torture of walking through the smoking gun list one by one. Now, another one of my favorites, which I think you'll have by default, is V-bottom. V-bottom in this particular filter measures the Williams indicator for a V on the oversold indicator. Every one of these has a V-bottom. It was oversold, and now it's curving the other way. And so these are always really nice to look at. Now, here's another good one. How about, I made this filter last night, which is track trading threshold. That means I think it's every stock with a track trading score of more than 80, or I might have set it at 85, but this is beautiful. I know a lot of people have said to me, Gar, smoking gun's great, but can it show the track trading scores? Yes, it can using this, because by using this filter, or making one of your own, you now can screen the smoking gun list by track trading score. Right now, I'm just curious what the threshold is. Let me look at that real quick. Go to the PowerScan filters. Where is it? Track trading threshold. I have it set at 85. Okay, so I'm screening for stocks with track trading score of 85 or better. Did I turn it off? Yeah, I turned it off. There we go. So 4 stocks on the smoking gun list. This is as of Friday, yesterday. Remember, we had a down market. So only 4 stocks had a track trading score of 85 or better. So that means they're probably pretty good to look at. Anyway, I can go on and on and on and on. Unfortunately, all the ins and outs and the intricacies of PowerScan and its filters are beyond the scope of this webinar. But we'll have other webinars. The point of this webinar is to show you how to use it. And by the way, I'll show you another little trick that's really cool. Okay, smoking gun, right? What happens if you do this? You go to the previous day's smoking gun. Lico's having trouble. You go to the previous day's smoking gun. Okay, I'm now on the 12th of March. Okay, what's the big deal? Well, how many times have you looked at a stock and it's flying, right? And then you go to smoking gun yesterday's list and notice that it's high on the list, and you go, oh my gosh, how did I miss that? Well, what's interesting is you can find those by pulling up yesterday's list and applying PowerScan to that. Now, what that actually does is it uses only the stocks in yesterday's smoking gun list, but it applies today's charts. So basically that'll tell you which ones from yesterday are now suddenly becoming alive. That could be really powerful in the morning, because you can see which ones from yesterday are waking up. So let's say that we go yesterday, right, and we want the V bottom to be true. There you go. Every one of these guys from yesterday's list shows a V bottom. Today, you can't see that, but there actually is a slight V bottom there on the Williams. There's definitely one there. You see that nice little V on the Williams indicator? This could be this is a nice cheapie, a $2 something stock. Anyway, you get the idea. Now, I'm seeing if anything else I missed. Let's see, what else can you apply PowerScan to? Well, they apply to all that. It applies to high premium. And by the way, I know people want to know how to use high premium. We're going to have a whole webinar on just that. So the problem is we've been working on PowerScan to get that out. But I'm going to show you how to not only use high premium, but how to use it with PowerScan. And that you could make some really good money with that, and with low risk too. Okay, well, options, of course, PowerScan works. Let's say you only want big buy volume. That's the filter I'm clicking on the options list. And by the way, options are going to vastly improve in the next few weeks. We're going to have way more choices and much better data feed. So it's more real time. There's only one, HLF, which is big buy volume. I'm just giving you an example. I'm not saying necessarily it's a good thing to do with options, but that's how you do it. You bring up the options list and then apply the filter of your choice. I think I've showed just about everything related to PowerScan. Well, and of course signatures, it works in signature as well, PowerScan. Anyhow, so the real power of PowerScan 2 is the fact that it is integrated into all these various lists. Now, for the first time, you can see there's been a method to all this madness. It's been the intention all along to integrate PowerScan to apply it to all these various windows and lists. And that's all I've got for you guys, but the way you get this, I'd say 99% of you already own PowerScan, which means it should show up in Traders Unite all automatically for you. If for some reason it's not, that means you never bought it, and if you want to buy it, there is no way to buy it by itself like the old days. All you simply need to do is subscribe to the regular Traders Unite service, which includes all those paid items, like track trading, signature, all that stuff, GARS Gold. You buy that, PowerScan should become enabled if you don't own it already. And by the way, I want to mention one thing before I answer questions. We're going to be changing our entire pricing model very soon. And we haven't really worked it out fully yet, so I can't really talk about it much. But we're going to get rid of all these various different prices, like this is this much, this one is this much, this is a one-time charge, this is a monthly. We're going to get rid of all of that. And it's going to be going to go to a monthly model with for everything. So in other words, it's either you're in a trial mode or you buy the thing, and when you buy one thing and then everything is enabled. No more of these individual little prices, and there's a long reason for that, but that's going to work out for everybody. Now, don't panic if you haven't bought anything yet, because anything that you've bought before, you're going to get some kind of prorated credit towards. For example, there's a lot of you guys who have done this grandfather deal, where you buy one time and you're good to go forever. That's going to still hold. So the new pricing model will be adjusted for that. So no one's going to get ripped off on it. But I just want to let you know, because pretty soon there won't be any more little grandfather deals or anything like that, unless you already have them. This will make more sense in a week or so. Anyhow, okay, questions. Here's a question: can we copy and paste symbols into a new list, or do we need to import still? Well, it depends on which list you're talking about. Most of the stock lists are fixed. You can't add anything. Like the regular stock list is fixed. You can't add symbols that we don't have in our database, is what I'm saying. If you're talking about custom lists, like the list wizard, that sort of thing, you cannot copy paste anything, but you can. You have to import. But keep in mind that PowerScan can often eliminate the need to have a special list, because it in itself presents and creates a special list. One person says, no questions here, pretty straightforward. I applaud the good work. Well, thank you. This was not intended to be a long, drawn-out webinar. It could have been. We could have gotten into filter design, but that's a vast subject, and there's going to be two things that are going to happen. One is we're going to resurrect an all-new trading academy very soon, which won't be free, but it won't be expensive. And then we're also going to have some free webinars to show you how to use some of these things. Like, for example, there'll be one free webinar on using the high premium report, and probably one on filter design. But then for you eager beavers who love to throw money around, we will have a new academy. And I've been preparing the materials for quite some time with a lot of new information, a lot of new killer powerful techniques. I want every one of you people to be great traders and to be able to hold your own. Somebody says, what about Trader's Edge and new PowerScan? Yeah, that'll be coming soon. Those are not that difficult to integrate. We'll get all that stuff in there. There's that, and there's retrospect, all those things. Once those are been rolled into the new product, We're going to get rid of all that old stuff. It's not going to exist anymore. It won't even be supported. No, and don't worry. If you bought them, you will have access to them in Traders Unite. That'll always be true. Somebody says, is there any chance, and this is regarding Smoking Gun, is there any chance of a follow-up webinar that focuses or improve ways to use SG? Yeah, sure, we might have one. Might have a free one. That's definitely going to be covered heavily in the new Academy. But there'll probably be one free one to go over that. By the way, PowerScan is one of the new great ways to use Smoking Gun. I've been doing it exclusively for the last few days, and I'm telling you right now, even though I haven't actually done a lot of trades because of time constraints, and because the market is getting hammered, I'm astounded of how many of my watchers just go flying into green territory. It's like astounding. And if any of you are wondering, how do you get this PowerScan? The answer is you just make sure you get the latest version of Traders Unite. It'll prompt you to download. And then, yes, and the Mac version is available as well. I made sure about that. I know we have quite a few Mac users. Any other questions? I'm surprised that, well, I guess this was kind of straightforward. Al says, if I own PowerScan, I am still grandfathered. If so, then I really don't have to subscribe to anything else, right? That is correct. The only thing you would have to subscribe to if you haven't would be Smoking Gun. But I think you already have, and so I think you're good to go. There's nothing you need to buy. As a matter of fact, this webinar is interesting because this is one of the few webinars we've had where there's not much for anybody to buy, because I would say that 99% of the people watching this show already own PowerScan. So notice that there's no show special, there's no sales pitch, because there's really nothing to sell here. A possible exception is if you saw how it works with Smoking Gun and you never bought Smoking Gun, well, now you should. Okay, that's probably the only way we're going to get any sales out of this. Somebody says, when will the recording of this webinar be available? The answer is sometime late tonight. We'll send out a link to everybody who registered for the webinar, whether they attended or not. Those are the first people we usually send it to. And then after that, we send it to everybody. You know, now speaking of all these products, one thing that's going to change dramatically very soon is that main forum. Now, I'm going to get complaints on this, but we're probably going to get rid of the leaderboard, and we're going to get rid of the likes and unlikes, and turn it into a pure stock forum. We still might measure statistics for traders, but we'll use the paper trader statistics. That leaderboard has turned out to be, it actually harms it does not forward our products whatsoever. And the forum is cluttered with it, and it's just not good. I know a lot of you like it, but it does not advance our products. In fact, it makes it look bad because there's a lot of red in a lot of those leaderboard results. And we'll get rid of the likes, unlikes, only because I get nothing but complaints on that stuff. And the other thing we'll change too is we're going to add an off-topic forum, because I get constant complaints about, non-stock chit-chat, like political rants and that sort of thing. I've been kind of not paying attention to it because the forum is just a little tiny sliver of the product these days. I never go there, but I just want to let everyone know that there's going to be some changes coming down the pike soon on that forum. And I'm really telling you that just so in case anybody has any suggestions as to how to improve it or fix it. Let's see. Somebody's asked a question here. Somebody says the default filters are it says are these ones you made, or are there others that you've validated that work well? No, the default filters are the old defaults that are in the old PowerScan for now. I haven't really made a lot of filters recently, but when and if I do, I will let people know and I'll put them on the sharing. And if they're solid enough, we'll make them the defaults. Somebody was glad to hear about the off-topic forum. Yeah, I would have done this on the forum a long time ago, but it's just had low priority. Yeah, I was talking about options trading. I know that you like to do the debit credit spreads, and that's interesting because we're going to get really into that very soon. That's, by the way, that's one of the main usages of the high premium report. It'll steer you towards stocks that you can get some really hefty premiums on some of those options. But debit credit spreads are a fantastic way to go if you want to have low risk, small account trading. And we're going to get really into that very soon. Again, the priority's been PowerScan. Now that that's pretty much out, I'm going to divert attention towards some of this new stuff. One of them is the debit credit spread. Like I said, options are going to greatly improve on the product. It's going to actually let you paper trade the debit credit spreads. We'll have webinars on all that stuff. Somebody says they did not see the V bottom. I might just, if it's not there, I'll put it on the sharing. Then all you gotta do is go import, find it, and then bring it in. All right, okay, if there's no more questions. Wait, there's one more here. Somebody's asked me about prices. They're saying I am lifetime VIP, I think. Is Smoking Gun extra for me? Looks like they want $199 again, but when I go to pay, it charges $599. I says I'm confused. Yeah, look, the whole pricing model is going to change soon, but let me try to clarify what's going on there. First of all, the problem is this. There's two different prices going on. There's literally two different price pages on the website. One of them is for the regular product, like all the bells and whistles of Traders Unite. That has a monthly charge. I think it's $79, and then it goes down if you buy more months. But it also has this thing called VIP, which is a one-time charge that will grandfather you into all the Traders Unite stuff. That's the thing that you probably bought before, in which case you don't ever have to go there ever again for anything, all right? And remember, it doesn't know that you already bought something. So if you try to go there and buy something, it's going to tell you it's $5.99. It doesn't know that you're already a grandfather. That's one thing. Okay, now there's Smoking Gun, which currently is in a different place. It's a whole different thing, in a different buy page on the website. That, there's no such thing as grandfather smoking gun. That's separate and by itself. Where you're probably confused is you're probably going to one and not the other. Like, let's say you wanted to buy smoking gun. If you go to the regular buy page that's for the Traders Unite, you're not going to get the smoking gun price. You're going to get something else. What you need to do is you need to go, if you wanted to buy smoking gun, you need to go into your account page in Traders Unite, the account icon. No, I'm sorry, no, that's not the way. You open smoking gun. See, even I'm confused. You open smoking gun, and there should be a button in there which says renew or something like that. Or if it doesn't, if you never bought it at all, it'll say buy now, and it should take you to the right page. Look, this is confusing. It's going to get cleaned up. Like I said, we're going to change the whole pricing model. There's not going to be two different charges anymore. It's going to be one thing. Either you own the product or you don't. And as far as owning it, either it'll be a monthly thing, your choice, or there'll be a grandfather deal. Now, as far as the grandfather deal, everybody who's already done grandfather deals will be credited for that. All right, so you're not going to be charged again for anything you bought before. This will make more sense to you once we've overhauled the whole pricing structure. But nobody should pay more than they already have. It's mostly for new people, is the main purpose of revamping the price structure. Okay, same guy is saying, you got to tell me what is it you're trying to buy, and then I'll tell you how to do it, because it sounds like you're going to the regular Traders Unite buy page. Sounds like you're trying to buy smoking gun on the Traders Unite page. That you can't do that. No, you do not need to pay $5.99 every year. There's something else going on there. It's probably going to the wrong place. There's probably a glitch in the buy system. I'll tell you what, send me, in fact, send me a message inside of Traders Unite. Go to Traders Unite, go to Message Center, send me a message, explain to me step by step exactly what it is you're doing or trying to do, and tell me what happens. And I will walk through that and see what's going on. All right? Somebody says, for a new client, are we, somebody's asking on new client, I'm not clear on the question, something if you're a new client, can we do the Traders Unite forever, or do we wait for new pricing? Either one would work, because the new pricing is going to prorate it if you already bought it before. I got to give you a hint. The new pricing is going to be higher than what we've got now. We're selling this stuff too cheaply. But if you already did a lifetime thing on Traders Unite, you're done with that. It'll prorate all that into the new pricing. In other words, you won't have to do that again. So to answer your question, you can either wait for the new pricing, or it shouldn't even matter, because you'll get credit for anything you do now. That's what I'm trying to say. And the new pricing is going to actually make it worse. In other words, it'd be more expensive for you if you just wait. Okay, anyway, to Jeff, who I was asking me about that other pricing thing and the trouble he's having, if you just send me a message in the message center in Traders Unite, just post a message. I get all those. Tell me specifically what it is you're doing or want to do and what happens, and then I will figure it out and get back to you one way or the other. Because maybe this has been going on all this time, but nobody's told me about any glitches like that. But I wouldn't be surprised because we've shifted this pricing around like 20 times. Okay, you just send a message. Good. I have to go open up the special version to see those messages. That's why I'm not seeing it. All right. So if there's no more questions, Vulcan Oracle. That's the name of the original PowerScan. That's like years ago. Do you know we have some people hanging around that have been here for 10 years plus? All right. I don't see any other questions. I'm going to close this down. Thank you for attending. And, if you find any glitches in the new version, send me a message. Don't post them on the forum, please. I don't want to see any messages on the forum. Hey, I can't get these filters to work. Anyone else have this problem? I don't want to see that sort of thing. Oh, somebody just asked me about market replay. I almost forgot. There's one thing that's not complete, but will be very shortly. Market replay is supposed to be able to run filters on previous market sessions. That does not work. If you run market replay and then you do PowerScan filters, you're going to think it works, but it doesn't. The PowerScan will be still looking at today's data, not the market replay data. So don't do that. That has to be integrated into the product, and it's very complex. But when it's done, then you'll be able to use PowerScan on past sessions using market replay. But that doesn't work yet, so don't do it. Market replay works fine, but you just can't apply PowerScan filters to past session data. You can, but it won't come out right. It'll come out with today's results, but you'll be looking at the past market data. But don't worry, if you own market replay, it's all going to be integrated. Alright, so I hope that answers your question. Market replay will just still work as is. You just can't apply PowerScan to it yet. Alright,